Wow, he came in the Gucci flip-flops.
Yeah, I got the 5-time national champion.
5 times, that's it?
And one,
Many more
How
to
old
come.
are you? How old are you?
I'm just 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
You already
wow.
got 5 nationals?
Yeah.
How old were you when you got each national?
My first national was at, I'd say, 10 years old.
Okay.
and guess who? Guess who's
you
trained him
beat?
the whole time? Who taught him everything he knows?
You've been with him from the beginning?
From the beginning. I'm the one that made this kid. Just like I made my kids, I made this kid. So if anybody's going to be part of Team Vargas, is going to be representing, is going to be Chris Rocha, you know, young talent from Vegas. Born, he's originally from California. I'm born in California, but he's been here. No, you were born here, right?
Yeah, North
You're
Las
born here.
Vegas.
It's Northtown. So, you know, I wanted you guys to meet him because you guys will be hearing a lot about him in the future.
So what are your plans? Are you going to continue your amateur career or are you looking to turn pro?
Well, for now, I'm continuing my amateur career, you know, building up my record for the pros. Once I turn 18, I definitely plan on turning pro.
Oh, wow. So you want another 3 years. How many amateur fights do you have total right now?
Only 20.
Oh, wow. And already 5 nationals. Okay. So, I could see why you want to get another 3 years worth of experience.
Does it seem a bit hard, given that the Olympics have removed boxing for the next 2 Olympics? It seems like
That's horrible, man.
You know, at least as of right now, 2024 has now been removed too.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy because, you know, you get that signing bonus. Let's put them in the big box. You get that signing bonus with, you know, the Olympic background. You get that medal. You get a signing bonus. Now, if there's no medals, there's no bonus.
Yep.
You know.
It's going to be a lot harder.
The only way now to build up and get a good signing bonus, a good contract is tickets, man. Tickets.
Yep.
Ticket sales.
So did you go to school here in Vegas?
Yes. Right now, I'm homeschooled, just focusing on boxing.
How long you been homeschooling?
I just started this year.
Okay.
How have you been liking it, and you know, how has it been able to change and improve your boxing? Because now, you know, I'm assuming more time to dedicate to the sport.
Definitely gives me more time to work on my craft, you know, instead of worrying about going to school 8 hours a day and coming home and do my work. I just train, go home, just do my work.
Fernando, you homeschooled your kids at a point in time too, right?
Well, for the most part, they were all in school. You know that Junior and Amado didn't start boxing till later on.
Oh, right.
You know, so Emiliano is the only one that, you know, we had to do, you know, certain things for him to do the homeschooling. Sometimes he would, you know, have to, you know, not be able to go to school because he was out there, you know, fighting. So we had to do that for him.
At what age did you start the homeschooling?
Man, he was already in high school.
Oh, okay, so not too young.
No, not too young.
Do you?
He already graduated. All three of my boys have graduated. My daughter is the last one, and we're breaking generational curses, bro.
Do you believe that fighters should resort to that? Because it seems like a lot of the guys, especially like in your era, most of them just dropped out of school for boxing. You know?
Well, you know, it was important for me to be the first in my family to graduate from high school, regardless. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was going to the Olympics you know, I was already 17, 18, going to the Olympics already. So, youngest on the Olympic team, and so I wanted to make sure that I graduated from high school. It was important for me, and I did that. You know what I mean? And you know, first in my family to graduate from high school, and then now my boys, you know, all of them are fighting. I mean, all of them have graduated, and now I just need my daughter, and that's it.
So how's it been for you, man, working alongside of a legend like that? Do you feel pressure to have to do everything right because of who he is, and he's just not a regular trainer?
There definitely is pressure. No, fighting and training. You know, you got to keep up a big reputation, training with a world champion. But for the most part, it's like training with family. You know, I've been with them since a young age, so it's normal to me.
Does it feel I guess now a bit different because for all this time you guys have been training, everybody was amateur.
Yeah.
And Junior turned pro, Amado turned pro, now Emiliano's pro, and now you're the one that's not. Have you caught yourself like maybe losing focus because I'm sure they do things different now because they're professional?
Yeah, I'm young, sometimes I get distracted, but for the most part, the training stays the same, same work ethic, all that. But yeah.
And when you're training with my boys, you're training and they're sparring, world champions, and he gets to see stuff like that. He's always at, when we're sparring, I take him with me, you know what I mean? Because he's a great young talent, and he's been loyal to me. He's been with me since I had my gym, and now when I didn't have my gym, you know what I mean? And so continues to stay loyal to me, and so that's somebody that I always want to take care of. So he's a good kid, and I know that he has the talent to be world champion one day.
What weight are you? Because you're huge. You look full.
He's huge.
Right now I'm at fighting at 154.
Okay.
And he's only 15.
Right. By the time you're pro, you Mexican?
Yeah.
Damn, you like a Benavidez
Yeah.
the size.
Big old Benavidez style.
Right.
Dude.
Okay.
Yeah, body type.
Okay. Fernando, I know I've seen you since, but we haven't had you on the show. I want to say congratulations. Recently inducted to the Nevada
Thank you.
Boxing Hall of Fame. Big moment, and you were presented a belt, something that I know you were missing. Just talk about the night, the entire weekend, and the experience. Being inducted and everybody sharing that moment. 3 classes were inducted this year because of the pandemic.
Correct. It was truly a blessing, to be inducted and be there with the great fighters that have been inducted already. And so, to me, I was very happy, you know what I mean? And, everybody says, oh my God, the Canastota Boxing Hall of Fame, but really we're here in Vegas. And in Vegas, when is there fights in Canastota?
The weekend of the Hall of Fame.
Okay, well, but I'm just saying.
No, I know.
It's like Vegas is the capital of all boxing.
So you saying Vegas is the real Hall of Fame?
It's a real Hall of Fame. I mean, you know what I mean? I feel, you know what I mean? Well, and I think that, it's not a wrong thing of me saying that because all the fights are here. All the big fights are here. So,
Even going back 30, 40 years.
30, 40 years. So, so I'm just it's honored to be inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame and to be with such great world champions. And I finally got my belt, like you said. You know what I mean? That was against Castillejo, where in Chicago, where you're from. Chi-Town in the house. Shout out to my boy David Diaz, my brother.
David.
You know David, and so I was owed that belt because they stripped Castillejo because just boxing politics, just shady stuff, you know what I mean? And I was gonna fight him in Chicago, and I fought him. They stripped him the day before we fought, and so I beat him, and I didn't get my belt. So that's why I was owed that. That's why I've always I've been 3-time world champion. Why I've always put it because I was a 3-time world, even though people recognize me only as a 2-time world champion. I put 3-time all the time. And on my Instagram, everybody sees that I put 3-time world champion. Why? They're like, hey, I know that I became world champion that night, even though they stripped Castillejo. So I got my belt. I got my 3 belts at the crib. I got the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC. So
But what, they stripped him before the fight?
before the fight,
the day
day
before.
before the fight.
But aren't you all supposed to be able to still fight for it the same way Shakur got stripped and
Exactly, that's what he's saying. That he was owed the belt. That wasn't the case.
They never mailed it?
No, they never
Wow.
give me nothing. They didn't
What-
recognize me
what's
as world champion.
But that don't make sense. What sanctioning body was that?
That was the
WBC.
Oh, wow. Your boys.
But it's all good. You know, I got my belt, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? And I'm all, you know, in the name of Jesus, my 3 boys will be WBC world champions and multiple world champions, and we'll see. You know, and little Chris too. You know what I mean? You know, little Chris is 15, big old kid. You know, big old baby Huey, but but he can fight.
Man, I can't let you talk about your kids being world champions and Chris and not bring up the situation, because I know that has to deter you in some way, and even you. I mean,
Yeah. Well, look.
where is the dynasty going to fall now in terms of network or promoters?
Right now, we just got a release from Triller. So right now, that's what we do know, that we got a release, and so we're free agents already again. And so my boys are free agents, and so we'll see who's gonna give us the best deal possible. You know.
And are you looking for a deal, or are you going back and gonna start getting busy with Tom Lawfer? I believe you guys got some fights in the past.
Well, listen, you know, we got to let management do this job. And, you know, Iggy's Climas and Jose de la Cruz are the managers of the boys. And so that's where, you know, we make sure that they handle the business, because, you know, so that's what we're working on right now to either talk to Golden Boy, to talk to Top Rank, and see what ends up happening. Because, you know, maybe the boys, Emiliano, I don't know if he wants to be all together in one promotional company. You know, everybody wants Emiliano because he's the most decorated. Not that the other two can't fight, but he's the most decorated. You know, 12-time national champion, 100 amateur fights, and so he has the most accolades. But at the end of the day, you know, we have to see what management wants to do.
But you yourself as a father would prefer a package deal where all the boys are on the
of
same
course,
network,
you know.
same promoter.
Well, yeah, because, you know, I'm gonna have them fighting probably on the same card, and you know,
You manage and you train all of them.
Yeah. So, you know, that's the thing, you know. But right
So
now,
I heard in the past there was interest from Top Rank, and you know, Top Rank seems to be the right direction to go when you're developing fighters. You mentioned Golden Boy. What's your thoughts on Golden Boy and the development of you know, their prospects? Do you think that your sons would get a fair opportunity?
well, I mean, look, they already have a name regardless of you know, if they've done anything or not in the sport, because of who their father is. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we got to see what they want to do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if it benefits us, you know, then we're going to do something with them. But, you know, it got to be beneficial for the boys at the end of the day.
And I know you can't say much, so before you answer, you know, try to think of what you can say, because there seem to be people that are going to be in the same situation that you and your sons are in. I don't know if you're aware, but Triller has announced yet another card,
Wow.
and fighters are still...
Where's that at?
I'm going to pull it up for you and give you more details, but yeah. They announced it not too long ago.
I
What
think
is it, Michael
yesterday.
Coppinger?
I think they might have announced it yesterday. So in Kansas City, it's the son of they're doing a Son of Legends. So they got Tommy Morrison's son, one of Roberto Duran's son, Steve Cunningham's son. Yeah. So they're doing that October 22nd.
Oh wow, that's Cunningham. I thought that was Cunningham himself, because he beat Frank Mir. I thought they were bringing him back.
It might be him coming back.
Okay.
But yeah, that's October 22nd in Kansas City, Kansas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
But
Hey,
I
the
want
thing
you
is
to
that
give some advice,
the
because
Triller, Triller didn't have dates for us, and now they got dates. I don't know what's going on. So, You know, it's been 5 months
Since May.
since May. Come on, you know, Vatos, we need the boys need to be fighting like every month. They're, you know, I need to keep them busy.
So wait, to be clear, your issue with Triller was lack of dates.
Correct.
Not lack of funds.
No.
Because you know it's being reported that
Yeah.
your sons did not get paid from that Pulev fight card.
They got their money.
Okay. Coppinger, I'm
They
pretty
got their
sure.
money.
I'm looking for his tweets now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully those dates come in because, like
Yeah.
you said, they're young and they should be fighting.
Yeah, man, they should be fighting every month.
They should be fighting
Every month.
They should be fighting.
Yeah,
That being said,
You had the actual tweet pulled up because it says Triller fight card returns October 22nd, Kansas City. Sources tell ESPN Triller's first card since the May Sergey Kovalev Pulev card features Kenzie Morrison, Tommy's son, who KO'd Hasim Rahman, and Jose Luis Castillo Jr., Steve Cunningham Jr., Roberto Duran Jr. too. Oh wow, a lot of juniors on there. So you might be right. It might be Steve's son because he did turn pro. He had a bunch of nationals.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let's see if it happens though, because I know they were talking about doing like the monthly cards, but you know, nonetheless. So at this point, definitely before the end of the year, we'll see them back in the ring.
That's our main objective to the end of the year, or hopefully 2 fights before the end of the year. Well, I don't know what's going on, but man, we're already, you know, late in the year already. So we'll see.
How do you keep your son's focus? I mean,
That's-
5 months, bro. No fight day.
That's where, you know, it's difficult because they're young. You know, they you know, we live in Vegas. It's 24 hours. You know, and they want to go have fun, and you know, yeah, it's difficult. But you know, I gotta tell them when we gotta work, we gotta work. I tell them Monday through Friday, we gotta be in the gym doing something. Don't matter, you know, you guys are young. You guys are not old. You guys are not gonna get stale. You guys will be all right. I need you guys to be busy. And busy is key, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So you guys have worked with everybody though, because I'm pretty sure Junior was on a PBC card, right?
Yeah, he's on the PBC card.
The Thurman Barrios at Mandalay Bay.
Yep.
What was that like for you? You know, you had such a historic fight with Oscar in that same venue, and to have your son, you know, be able to get a victory in that same
Nah,
venue.
man, it's to me, look, like I said, you know, I beat 5 world champions, and the four that beat me didn't walk away saying it was easy. I only lost to world champions and Hall of Famers. So, you know, I think it was a great moment for me as a father to I mean, people tell me all the time, you know, you wanted your kids to fight? I said no. And if you didn't want your kids to fight, I go no. So like I've said to you guys before, you know when my compadre said, Champ, you didn't want your kids to fight? I said no. He goes, okay, who's gonna tell your kids they can't be like their dad? Because I'm not gonna tell them. When he put it like that, I said, man, I gotta support them. You know, nobody could take away boxing from me when I was a kid. So,
Absolutely.
you know, if they really want to do it, they got the talent. It's just you know, the DNA running through their bloods that they're athletic. You know, the Junior and Amado, if they didn't score 3 touchdowns a game in Pop Warner football,
They weren't happy.
It wasn't a game. They would score 3 touchdowns minimum each. So Emiliano, he was a baby. So we didn't put him in football or anything where he would have done the same. It's just the Vargas bloodline is crazy.
I gotta ask. You were in the Olympics right before I came out of my mother's belly. All right. You and Floyd, so many great fighters were part of that '96 class.
Right.
What did it mean for you to have, you know, Floyd, what many call, you know, the GOAT, recognize you and your sons at that Hall of Fame induction?
Floyd is a great dude. You know, I got nothing bad or ill to say about Floyd because he's always been respectful to me. He's always been kind to me. So, you know, when we see each other, it's always love. It's never been any, you know, foul names being called to each other. Never. It's always been respect. Like, you know, I didn't hang out with Floyd too much. I didn't hang out with me, David Diaz. Me and David Diaz were real tight on the team. But Floyd, I always saw him. I always said, "What's up?" I mean, you know, we've always been cordial. And for him to have said that, you know, he had to me, it made me very, very proud that somebody knew why I was owed that belt. That especially of his stature, like what he's become, you know, TBE. You know what I mean? For him to have said, give the man his belt, man, and he knew why, you know, I deserve that belt. So, I thought that was very, you know, classy of him for him to have done that and said that, you know. And so, you know, I have nothing but love and respect for Floyd.
That being said, I'm not sure if you saw, but this past weekend he got a knockout in Japan in an exhibition.
You think he wasn't?
No. I bring that up to now ask you.
Did you see the Phantom Punch?
Nah, fuck the punch. Are we gonna see you in an exhibition?
Tell them put the money where their mouth is. I'm down. Look, I'm 8 years sober, December 1st of alcohol. I'm in shape. I go to the gym 3 times a week. Sometimes I run, sometimes I lift. Most of the time I lift. But hey, let's put your money where your mouth is, and then we'll see what we could do. I'm down.
You and who? You and Oscar?
Let me show this Phantom Punch. Can you show him this Phantom Punch? Is there any way to put it up here or no? Or they need that beforehand, right? You can't put it here, right?
Right here.
You got to look right there. Look at this punch. Did that land, Chris?
Barely.
It got him in the temple.
It got him in the little hairs on the side of the head.
Well, look.
We're good. Thank you, guys.
Look. He that Japanese dude wasn't stupid. He's like, you know what?
I'm tired. I'm going
you know,
down.
let me go pick up this money. Floyd gonna pick up his 100 million or whatever he's gonna make, and let me pick up, you know my money.
Right.
Yo, you should
So
do
you
one
again
with
too?
Kodo, man. You and Kodo, no?
Hey, I'm down to do an exhibition with anybody.
Nah, but which one is gonna
Well,
bring
Which
the
one
most out
is
of it?
gonna make you train for real?
I'm down to do with Oscar.
Oh, De La Hoya.
Yeah, I think that'll be Raza would love it. You know what I mean?
In LA?
In LA, come on.
Beat him in the same venue that has his statue outside?
Staples Center, let's go.
No, well, it'll be an exhibition, so no one's beating nobody. But you know what I mean? I think
Nah, Floyd wins in his exhibitions.
Oh yeah. Floyd wins in his exhibition,
Well,
right?
no, the Logan one didn't have a winner.
Nah.
Not that one, but this one did. But no, I mean, I'd love to see it. Winner, no winner.
Yeah, I would love to do it. Oscar, there's no more bad blood between me and him. And I've said it on different interviews. I would love to do an exhibition with him. Why not?
Have you ever gave him a call?
No, but I'm sure he saw it online. I've said it many times. So, I mean, he's. I don't know if he's interested or not.
So it's nothing that, like if somebody calls you, you'll take it, but nothing that you're like actively looking for. It's not.
It's not active. I'm not
Okay.
actively looking.
Okay.
But I stay in shape. And I remember when I was fighting and I was drinking and I go, why do I get so fat? And I never thought it was the alcohol. It was so stupid. But guess what? It's like all the good and bad that happened in my career, I serve it as experience for my boys. And my jefe, señor Rodolfo Garcia, told me the same. And so he goes, Fernando, todo lo bueno o lo malo que pasó en tu carrera es para que te sirva para tus muchachos. And this is truth.
Pero tú tomabas cerveza, era?
No cerveza, licor.
But I thought like it's
liquor.
better. But I thought it was better to drink liquor than beer.
Not the way I used to drink.
So, I mean, everything in moderation, but yeah, just because something's better doesn't mean it's good for you. It could be better, than something else, but it's still not good.
It's still detrimental when you're, drinking 3-4 bottles a day.
Damn. Of liquor. What was your drink?
A black skinny bitch. You know what that is?
Hell no.
Vodka and Diet Coke. But, my thing was just anything hard.
But there it is, bro.
I
The
used to
sugar.
grab the bottle and go... ra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
It's the
And
sugar, man. You're using
it
Diet
turns,
Coke.
it turns to sugar as soon as it hits your body. So, I used to drink like a sailor, and I used to do the mouthwash like this with vodka or tequila, and everybody be like, and I drink it, and they're like, and then so thank God that the devil's trying to kill me with alcohol, but that's a different story. But God is good. December 1st marks 8 years of my sobriety, and I couldn't have done it without God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Something I've really been wanting to talk about with you on the show is not just obviously are you training your sons and have brought your sons this far in boxing, but you guys are really dipping outside of boxing into different business ventures, and I see you guys just doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
For anybody watching that knows anything about Mexican music, they know who Jimmy Humilde is. How'd you pull that off? Because I've only seen him with the biggest artists, and when I saw you guys with
What are you
him,
trying to say? Fernando's not big? This is Fernando Vargas
bro,
right
I'm
here,
talking
bro.
about musical artists.
Tell him, bro.
I'm talking
What's up
about
with this
musical
guy, yo?
artists. I'm talking about musical artists.
Tell him, bro.
Yo,
musical
this
artists.
Fernando Vargas,
Bro,
bro.
I'm just saying, I ain't never seen Snoop Dogg sign a boxer. I had never seen Jimmy Humilde with boxers.
Well, Jimmy is a good dude, man. And shout out to Jimmy Humilde and to the whole Rancho Humilde family. You know what I mean? He did me a favor so big to have J.O.P. Come and sing at my daughter's quinceañera.
That was huge, and I'm mad we didn't get an invitation, Fernando.
Wow,
let me tell you.
vato. Wherever you guys are too busy for me, vato.
Look who's talking, Mr. Cancellation.
Yeah,
My man's
Mr.
name is
Cancellation 3 times.
Fernando Cancellation Vargas.
One time, vato. Not more than that. Hey, so, yeah, man. I mean, shout out to Jimmy Humilde and the whole Rancho Humilde family. You know what I mean? We're just honored and blessed to have, been able to do that for me. That was China's favorite artist. And, she was very surprised, so it was crazy because I didn't know it really was gonna go down, and then it wasn't, and then I was like, let down, and then Jimmy calls me and he goes, "It's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen." Does she know? I go, no. I didn't want to tell her because I didn't want to get her hopes up.
Right.
So I didn't say nothing, but Jimmy Humilde came through. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you.
Now, the reason I found it very big is because I know how huge he is in Mexican music.
Yep.
And something that we see a lot in boxing is we see a lot of fighters, walk out with their favorite artist.
Right.
Or, we just saw Shakur, walk out with Kevin Gates for his fight Friday night. You don't really see that too much with Mexican fighters. Sometimes you'll see them in attendance sometimes, but I think it's necessary for the two worlds to combine and come together. And obviously you're with one of the best. So So I thought that was huge for you guys.
Yeah, it was definitely huge, and we definitely are very grateful to Jimmy for doing that for us. And we text each other back and forth. He's such a good dude, and truly a blessing for me to know him.
So what's next, Fernando? Like, not just with the kids, but like big picture. What is like the next big goal for you these days?
Well, look, my goal is always to be a better father every year. I try my best. I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to be the better father each year, and my boys, want to continue fighting. So we got to do the best possible for them. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm living for. That's what I live for, to help my kids out, to guide them the best way possible. Of course, they're not going to listen 100 times, 100%, but as long as I continue to instill that in their lives and try to be the best father possible, That to me is what a man's all about. You know, to continue to be a better husband, a better father, a better man. You know what I mean? Because you know, every year if you could advance and be better at that, you know, in that way, you know, it's just better. It's just better for you as a human being, you know, to live for.
Fernando, what's the one thing that you did outside of the drinking that you don't want your sons to do in boxing specifically?
The drinking and the women.
Outside of the drinking.
He said the women.
And the women.
Oh, women.
Yep.
So you were a party animal, huh?
Think I wasn't? You know? Hey,
What was your fanciest car?
I had a 600 Mercedes
Okay.
Benz. And then I had the brand new Lexuses that came out. When the Lexus barely came out, I had a GS 300. You know, everybody wanted a Lexus.
Everybody liked that GS.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You know, and it was white, sitting on rims. Woo, that boy looked cold. And so, you know, yeah. And then I had what was it? A Jag. I had a Jag also. So, you know, I have my own limos, stretch limos, which my wife hated.
Why?
But, you know, it's
No, why'd you own the limos? Was it a business or?
it was for me to go out to the clubs, party, and drink after, and
not have to drive.
and not have to drive. I wasn't gonna be driving. You'll never in my life, ever in your life, ever hear me getting a DUI ever in your life. First and foremost, because I don't drink no more. Second, even when I drank, you know, and people were with me, I'm like, you're driving, you're not drinking. All right, Fedos. Well, they're gonna tell me no. All right, if you tell me no, get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here, then. You're not gonna be part of the, you know, you're not gonna go with go be part of the entourage or being part of people that are with me. You're not gonna be that, and that's it.
No, I just didn't know if it was like a business or.
No. It was in the business. It was my own thing, and my wife hated those. My wife hated those limos.
What is your vice these days? Like
What?
your vice?
My vice?
Yeah,
My vice
we
is
all have
one coffee a day.
the Starbucks.
The
I see you
Fero's
posted.
Bucks.
I see you posted.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I do, and then, like, you know. And then, look,
Boxing
I'm
gotta
44.
be
I'm
the
44.
vice.
I'm 44 years of age.
I think you need a vice outside of it. Like for me, I need to have something outside of boxing. Take my mind off.
I'm 44 years of age. I'm going to be 45 this year.
Looking younger than ever, champ.
Yeah, thank you. And you know, they say black don't crack, but I say Preto Brown never breaks down. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
So, you know, yeah, to me, my life is, you know, just living for my kids, man. You know, living for my kids and trying to guide them the best way. You know, be there for their trainings, be there for their sparrings, be there for everything that needs to be done. You know what I mean? And they can't tell me. Nobody can tell me that this is not something I know. I've been youngest national champion at 16, youngest junior middleweight champion in boxing history, 3-time world champion, a Hall of Famer, just inducted into the Hall of Fame. You can't tell me I don't know this boxing stuff. I've been doing since I was 12. I broke history in 4 years. So, you know, I love the boxing game. You know, it's something that I will always do. I think I'll always have and be part of, because what else am I going to do?
But what made you become a teacher? Is it because it's your sons, so it's easier
Well,
to?
no, well, you know what? When they want to start boxing, who is going to train them?
I mean, there's plenty of capable,
there's plenty of-
high-level
There's plenty.
profile
There's
trainers.
plenty of. You're right. There's plenty of capable, high, you know, trainers. But I got it, and I made them all, you know, undefeated on national champions, 5-time national champion, Chris Rocha. You know, I made some other world amateur champions, Alexis Espino. I made that kid. He's no longer with me, but that's fine. You know, but so I know this boxing game, and I know, you know, So at the end of the day, my jefe always taught us this. El señor Rodolfo Garcia, Robert Garcia's father. Mikey Garcia's father. He said, Fernando, primero inteligente, luego valiente. So first intelligent, then brave. Because if you're brave, you're going to be brave anyways because that's your blood you carry. But intelligence is what kills people. You know, the intelligence, the boxing ability. You know, you don't become an Olympian by brawling. I don't know how many brawlers you've seen that become Olympians. You got to be a boxer. You got to be able to box and punch. You got to be able to be slick. That's what it is.
Have you felt the need to bring in other help? We've seen.
I have assistants that help me. Blaze Suarez, which was a good friend of mine that was an amateur when I was fighting, and you know, he that's here in Vegas that always helps me out when I need help. You know, he always calls me every day. Are we working? What time we're working? He always helps me out. So he's part of Team Vargas. We also got Edgar Sandoval. He's out of San Diego, CYAC, and he helps me out too. Okay. So those are my two go-to guys that are solid always, that are always going to be there to help me if I need help. So that's my team right now.
So Fernando, I mean, you know, with Chris being able to work alongside you, which is, you know, a fighter out of Kansas doesn't get to work with, you know, Fernando Vargas or spar with his sons. And now that we know they've eliminated the Olympics, is it even worth him staying? Because obviously he can get that experience in the gym. Like Devin Haney did that. He turned pro at 17 and went, you know, all over the country. Is it worth? Because again, if there's no Olympics, there's no signing bonus.
Yeah, you
but
know, that sucks.
You do get I guess, some bonus for having a bunch of nationals, as you know.
Well,
that.
Yeah, some. But I think that the promoters will shortchange you. At the end of the day, they're trying to get the least amount. They're trying to give the least for the most. You know, so at the end of the day, you know, that's a promoter's job to do that. You know what I mean? But, you know, Chris, you know, I'm going to continue to do tournaments with him. But, you know, when we turn 18, he's going to be, turn 18, I think that'll be perfect. 18, he's nice and solid. He's good to go. I turned pro at 18. I just think that would be a better move for him. You know what I mean? But, you know, I would have loved him to go to the Olympics because I was an Olympian.
We never know.
Did you see
they may bring it back?
Did you see the Roy Jones Jr. trained 16-year-old amateur that turned pro over the weekend and suffered the first loss?
No.
Yeah, they took him to Mexico to turn him pro. And
now
you know us Mexicans don't play, man, and you got Mexicans that are hungry, man. Anything can happen. You just because I always tell them, like, when I was getting ready for fights and I was barely coming up, you know what I mean, as a young pro. They'd be like, why are you training so hard? I go, what do you mean, what am I training so hard? He goes, hey, you're going to fight at some bum or just a step up. And I'm like, does he have gloves on? And he goes, yeah, he's going to have gloves on. So he has a chance. So I always stayed ready.
I like that attitude, man. I don't like people that underestimate. You just never know, especially in this sport, man. You don't know how you're going to react to a punch.
You don't know if the vato was like, you know, overseeing this kid or didn't even train. Like, I'm going to knock this guy out in 15 seconds, 10 seconds. And it didn't happen. It didn't work out that way.
A lot of people think that going to Mexico, you're just going to build up a fight and it's going to be easy.
Yeah. Sometimes, look, I'm not going to say that there's not bums that are Mexican, but there's fighters that their record doesn't really indicate that type of fighters they really are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people call it a lie, but Floyd says Emmanuel Augustus, right? Was his toughest?
Yeah.
Was his toughest fight?
Yeah, Emmanuel Augustus was no joke. He threw millions of punches and he was no joke.
Yeah, so. But those are one of those fighters that the record, looking at it, not knowing, you're like, but once you see him fight, you see how tough of a fight he is.
Correct.
I got a few questions here. I got New York City. David Maldonado said, "What's up, champ? You faced Tito Trinidad, Oscar, and Ike Corte. Can you grade all three in order, and who was better in all areas?"
Oscar was the best fighter that I've ever fought. It was if you did something, if you throw a jab and you didn't put your right hand in front of you to throw the jab down to the body, you were gonna get hit. You know what I mean? So he was definitely the best technical fighter. Trinidad was the hardest puncher. And Ike Corte, what did he say about Ike Corte?
Yeah, grade all three.
Oh, grade out three. I go first by boxing talent and skills. Oscar. Second, I would say Trinidad, but power, and then third, Ike Corte. I would just say that he was a very tough, technical fighter. Also, he was tough.
Champ, I gotta ask. You said how obviously you would like to keep your sons together because as you've done already, have them on the same cards and push them together and stuff. Is it? And I know right now they're still coming up, but it hasn't been hard to work 3 corners in one night.
No, I love that. You know what? Look.
So you have enough time in between and everything.
Yeah. I had enough time. I warmed up one. And then I had my assistant coach, one of Blaze or Edgar, warming them up while I was working with them when I was working with the fight in the ring.
Okay.
So, one of them was warming them up or, so at the end of the day, I probably need one more person. But when that time comes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get one more person too so that way we could have 3 people helping me.
Have you noticed either of your boys get nervous or maybe be worried about his brother's fight? Like while one is fighting, or have you heard anybody say anything?
I haven't heard nothing.
Okay.
I haven't heard them ever say anything like, "Oh my God, I hope he looks at," nothing like that. They're professionals or they're like already about their career and what they got to do,
Nate the Alien says, "Hey Vargas, would you like for La China to be a boxer also?"
China got hands. People think that there was some girl that tried to punk her, which was like one of those girls that are heavy, they're pretty much fat, but they're big, they're tall. So some girl tried to, and they got it on video, and I don't even. They sent it to me, and I go, "Wow." China's.
So what happened? Hold on.
So
where's the video, man? Forget all that. Where's the video?
I can get it from China, but
Gotta see that
that girl tried to slap China, and like this, and China went da, 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 da.
Wow.
Throwing straight punches, like, hey, she
So she slipped, counter.
She slipped, pull counter.
Okay, but I was just seeing you all daddy's princess at the quinceañera, champ.
Yeah.
So just because she can fight,
she's 15 already.
She's 15.
Oh,
just
wow.
because she can fight doesn't mean that you would want her to
Look,
fight.
I wanted her to do 3 amateur fights so that way she could at least learn and really know what it is to. But she doesn't want to, and I'm not gonna make her. But guess what? She knows how to throw her hands because I already taught her how to do that. And it's basic, like when you start knowing how to throw punches, you're never gonna forget it.
Riding a bike.
Most of the people don't know how to. Most people in the street don't know how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They do all this stuff.
They think they know how
They
to
think they know
fight.
how to fight, but they don't.
Yeah.
And so, I taught my daughter how to fight, and just in case, and she knows how to throw her hands. And you guys seen videos of her doing pads. She knows how to throw her hands. So you're never gonna forget it once you know how to throw your hands. You're never gonna forget it. But she's been in one fight and she's whooped that girl, and I don't advise her to get into any more, but she's not gonna get punked.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. That was a good question because most fathers wouldn't want their daughter to fight, but it seems like
I'm with him. Though.
I-
I'd rather teach you.
I don't want her to fight. I don't want her to fight, but
No, you just said you wanted her to have 3 fights.
I wanted her, to do 3 fights, but I tried to. No, I don't want to. And so I'm not gonna make her.
No, for sure.
So I wanted her to have 3 fights just so she could have under her belt, and she knew because that Vargas blood is no joke. But she don't want it. She don't want to do it. So what am I tell her? I'm gonna make her? No, I can't do that. She's so beautiful, anyways. I love you, muñeca.
I got James Valdez from San Antonio, Texas says, if you could have obtained a rematch to any of your losses, who would it have been and why that particular person?
Man, it's either between Oscar and Trinidad. You know what I mean? So it's either between them two. Yeah.
All right. I got Brandon in Houston. What up, Fernando? Thanks for coming on the show. Whenever people bring up taking a big step up too soon, they often bring up you and Trinidad. First, do you agree with your name always being tied to that subject? Secondly, if you do agree, is there a current fighter in boxing who you would advise to slow down?
Well, look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I think about my career, I should have just not jumped in right away. I would have lasted longer. I would have, I would have been able to do more. But this is where I know the promoters, saw this, and so they saw that I was partying, saw that I was drinking, they saw that I was always out. So when they say, "You want to fight this guy?" You think I'm gonna say no? When you're a champion, you got the champion heart. You're gonna fight anybody. Let's go. So that's something that I know was done to me.
Who was your advisor or your manager back then?
Shelly Finkel.
Get the fuck out of here. You had Shelly?
Yeah.
So I'm sure Shelly told you don't take the fight. And
No.
it was you just being macho?
He never told me.
He never told you don't take none of those fights?
No.
Wow.
Well, of course. Why? This is gonna be big money. I'm an Olympian. I'm a world champion.
You were with Don King for a while.
I never was dunking. I was a main events.
Oh, so I'm thinking of
Lou or
Robert.
Kathy? Lou, right?
With Lou at first. With Lou with the son. What was his name? What was the son? The son's name of Lou Duva,
No
or his
clue.
dad? No, not Dan. Dan died.
Dino?
No.
No, Dino was the one that had something to do with Rock Nation, right? Now that you say that out loud?
No. I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, they saw that I was being I was just being reckless. And so they said, "Hey, you want to fight these guys? What do you think?" I'm gonna say no.
No, I hear you, man.
But that's why I tell my boys the same thing. I go, look, you guys are not nobody. You guys are somebody because of what your daddy did. But take advantage of it. Don't mess it up and do your best to do the best in the ring, and and it's gonna show. It's gonna show. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're young, so you gotta understand that they're young. So
For sure. I got another one here. Fernando Vargas versus Robert Garcia. Who says no?
me and Robert, we used to spar together when we were kids, but he's my compadre. I got nothing but love to say. I got nothing bad to say about Robert.
Are you, obviously, I'm sure you feel, happy for Robert, but are you shocked that he's such a big name trainer?
No, came from the school of Senor Garcia, which is his dad, which I call pops, which I call dad, which I call Jefe. You know what I mean? That man is so knowledgeable in boxing. You know, he made me world champion, Robert world champion, Mikey world champion from scratch, from nothing. Nobody, we didn't have no other trainer but him. Who does it? I told him, Jefe, le voy a ganar. Dice, ¿por qué? ¿Cómo dices? Le voy a ganar porque ahora, si yo hago mis 3 muchachos campeones mundiales, usted nomás me hizo a mí y a Roberto. A Roberto y Mikey. Y dijo, no, Fernando, me vas a empatar. Wow. That means he said that, like, I'm his son too.
Yeah, he's including you.
Yeah, including me. Well. So I thought that was awesome.
We were fortunate. Maybe around June, we went out to see them, and Bam was in camp for his first title
defense.
Oh yes, the first title defense. Man, I probably sat there with Big G like an hour just talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, Big G is no joke, and you know that's my nephew. That's what we call the. You know, I didn't have a dad. My dad was a drug addict. My dad was he's locked up for murder, and you know.
Damn, murder.
Yeah, and when he got out, he still got out. He still went back to drugs and all that. And at the end of the day, to me, that's not a man. You know what I mean? Now, do I know that he was scared to fight? No, he was not scared to fight. He was down to scrap. That's where I get it from. That's where my kids get it from. But, you know, if you're not a man enough to change your life, look, like I said, I was an alcoholic. 8 years sober, December 1st. Change for the better, for your family. My wife said, alcohol, your family. I chose my family. Vato chose drugs in prison.
Fernando, what you've accomplished in your career speaks for itself. Obviously, you're doing what you're doing with your children right now. So much still in store. But when you look at it, what do you want the Vargas dynasty, the Vargas name to be remembered when it's all said and done? Like, we're not just talking you, but with your sons and, you know, what they go on to accomplish. Well, you know, because
it'd be a blessing from God for all 3 of my boys to be world champions. There's never been a world champion father making his 3 kids world champion. Now, there's been 2. I think there's Japanese, but there hasn't been 3. And so, in the name of Jesus, that happens. And so, you know, look, that's something that I hope for. You know what I mean? And so I pray for. You know what I mean? Whatever God wants it to be, it's gonna be. And so, you know,
outside of boxing, though. Outside of boxing, when they remember the last name Vargas,
I want to
what do you want people to remember?
I want them to remember just a bad motherfucker that made some 3 kids that were bad motherfuckers too, and that were able to be better and keep all their money and continue to invest their money and never have to come back to boxing if they don't want to. So that's what I would have wanted to be.
Last one, Canna in Nebraska says, thanks for coming on the show, Mr. Vargas Sr. You already spoke on partying and women. Thank you for keeping it real on the issues in your career. Best of luck with your son. So it's just
showing love.
Tell him I said thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up and take this picture with Fernando and Chris. And yeah, man, we'll be back 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Peace.
Hey, you want to give out any social media, Fernando?
Yeah, you can follow me at _ Fernando Vargas, Instagram, Twitter. Feroz Fernando Vargas on Facebook. I'm verified on Facebook too. If they don't have the blue check, it ain't me. So, and
he actually communicates with the fans. Yeah. Like if you hit him up, he'll, and not be an asshole. He'll hit you back.
I'm not gonna have no negativity on my page.
For sure.
So some people say, "Oh, leave it." Nah, I'm not leaving none of that. No negativity on my page. Why? Because it's my page. So you know, it is what it is, and so I just love my fans and thank you for all the love and support. Y ya Vargas para rato, cabrones.
Yeah, man.
Chris.
Thank you for finally coming in. We do appreciate your time, man, and thank you for allowing us to watch you train your family and Chris. You know, to get the knowledge, man, to see how you do what you do. But yeah, we're gonna be back
Well,
to
let
Little Chris,
what is your social media?
Follow me on Instagram. Handles 030NOV. That's the only social.
03. Chris, what's up, bro? Why you don't have your name there? You're a fighter.
Oh, my nickname is Handles, so
Because he handles.
I handle business when I get in
Oh,
ring.
it's actually handles.
Handles.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you see how confused we just
no one's
were?
gonna know
You,
that.
you gotta get that name out there,
You better
but
get that Chris before
Chris
someone else
Rocha.
take it. Because once you get famous, someone else gonna take it and try to sell that
Look,
shit to you.
I'm just saying. Look, Fernando Vargas Senior. Well, underscore Fernando Vargas Senior. Emiliano has his name. Amado
Yeah.
Champ. That's how they.
It's
find
easier to
you.
find you too. Like somebody right now is seeing this interview. Oh, Fernando's training this kid named Chris. They're looking on Chris, and
Chris
never
Rocha,
comes
and,
up.
you know.
yeah.
But yeah, we're out.
That's a great advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.